Hello students, this is lecture number 10 and 11 of a digital signal processing course, and in this lecture we are going to discuss about the Z transform of discrete time signals. So the Z transform of any discrete time signal, for example x of n, is defined as summation from minus infinity to infinity x of n into z power minus n, where z is a complex variable. So when we take Z transform of any discrete time signal, we are actually transforming our signal from time domain to the Z domain, which is a complex domain. It is denoted by this sign Z, and when signal is transformed from time domain to Z domain, it is represented by this sign x of z. So here x of n, which is a discrete time signal, is transformed into x of z, which is actually z domain or complex variable domain signal. Now since the Z transform, as we can see in this equation, is infinite series, right? So obviously it would only exist for those values of z where the series would converge, right? So this region where the series converges is called the region of convergence, ROC. So the region of convergence is basically is a set of values of z for which the value of x of z is finite. So that is called region of convergence. And from now on, whenever we will talk about Z transform of signal, we will also talk about the region of convergence of that signal, because the region of convergence actually helps us to determine the inverse Z transform. Later we are going to discuss in lectures. When we take inverse Z transform signal, then we need to know what is the region of convergence in order to get the accurate result. Now there are some very simple examples in which we are going to take the Z transform of these signals. So in first, x of n is equal to 125701, and as you know, this arrow indicates n equal to 0, right? So whenever there is no arrow in the sequence, it is understood the first element of the series is n equal to 0. So either n equal to 0 is mentioned by this arrow sign, or if there is no arrow in the sequence, it is understood that the first element of this sequence is n equal to 0 point, right? So let us find out the Z transform of each of these signals, right? So starting from the first one, A, example 1a, here x of n is equal to 125701 and n equal to 0 point is this, right? So n has how many values? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values. There are 6 values for n. So therefore we can rewrite the formula of Z transform in this form: x of z equal to n equal to 0 to 5 x of n into z power minus n, right? So this is a finite series, right? It doesn't have infinite values. So it has only 6 values starting from n equal to 0 to n equal to 5. Now you can substitute the values. For n equal to 0, x of n is 1 into z power minus 0. Then n equal to 1, x of 1 is 2 and z power minus 1, and so on up to n equal to 5. So substituting the values of n, or in other words expanding the summation sign, we get this sequence: 1 plus 2 into z minus 1 plus 5 into z minus 2 plus 7 into z minus 3 plus z plus 1 into z minus 5. And since the coefficient of z power 4 is 0, so it is not mentioned here. Now you can put different values of z to determine at what values of z, x of z is actually a finite value. It is quite obvious that z power minus 1, z power minus 2, z power minus 3, z power minus 5. So as long as the value of z is not 0, you will always get a finite value, right? For example, for z equal to 1, you will get some finite value, z equal to 2, you will get some finite value, but when z equal to 0, when z is equal to 0, it would involve division by 0, right? Here and in these terms. So division by 0 is undefined or infinite, therefore it is considered as a sequence as divergent sequence, not converging at z equal to 0. So for all other values of z, it is actually converging, right? So we can say that the region of convergence for this sequence is entire z plane except z equal to 0. So this is a finite series, it has only 6 samples, and the region of convergence for this series is entire z plane except z equal to 0, and this is basically a causal sequence. Causal sequence means it only exists for n equal to 0 or greater than 0. It doesn't have any value for negative values of n, right? So it's a causal sequence, it is a finite sequence, and for causal and finite sequence we have the region of convergence entire z plane except z equal to 0. Then we have example number 2, and in a similar way we can write down the sequence for this, but one thing you should note down, that this is not a causal sequence. It has sample values for negative value of n, right? So this is n equal to 0, this is n minus 1, n minus 2, this is n equal to 1, n equal to 2, n equal to 3. So the y of z would be equal to z square 2z plus 5 plus 7z minus 1, again z square coefficient is 0, then z power minus 3. Now in this sequence you can determine the region of convergence again by substituting the value of z. For example, starting from the extreme values 0 and infinity, right? So when we put z equal to 0, you get 0 here, 0 here, 5 here, and infinity here, and infinity here. So for z equal to 0, the sequence is infinite. Similarly, for z equal to infinity, for z equal to infinity, this one is 0, this one is 0, this is 5, this is infinity, this is infinity, right? So the sequence is infinite, or y of z is infinite when z equal to 0 or z is equal to infinity. Other than that, if you put any value of z, for example 1, 2, minus 1, minus 5, whatever, you will get some finite value, right? So we can say that the region of convergence for this sequence is entire z plane except z equal to 0 and z equal to infinity, right? So this is a non-causal sequence. It is expanded on the both side of the origin of the plane. For negative value it has some value, for positive value of n it is also non-zero, right? So for this we have entire region of convergence entire z plane except the value of 0 and infinity. Similarly, this one is a causal sequence, and from the previous example we can expect that the region of convergence for this kind of sequence should be entire z plane except z equal to 0. So let us find out z of z is equal to z power minus 2, because coefficient of z power 0 and z power minus 1 are 0. So therefore 1 into z power minus 2, 2 into z power minus 3, and so on. Now you can clearly see, as long as z is not equal to 0, because when z is 0 it would involve division by 0, right? So except z equal to 0, entire z plane is region of convergence, right? Now in this example, P of n is equal to lambda of n, where lambda of n is a unit sample, right? So by definition, you know, unit sample is 0 when n is not equal to 0, and it is equal to 1 when n is equal to 0, right? So this sequence only have one value at n equal to 0, all other values are 0. So we can write down the Z transform of P of n as P of z equal to 1, and this sequence, the converging for all the values of z, right? Because it doesn't depend upon z. So region of convergence for this series is entire z plane. Similarly, in this example, we have again a unit sample, but it is shifted unit sample, and because the values of k are greater than 0, so n plus k is basically time advanced, so it exists in the negative part of the plane, right? So this is again a non-causal sequence, right? So we can write down the Z transform of R of z is equal to z power k, and this sequence has finite value for all the values of z except z equal to infinity. When z is infinity, R of z is infinity, otherwise R of z is a finite value. So the region of convergence is entire z plane except z equal to infinity. Now in this example number 1, we considered all finite sequences, right, with limited number of samples, and in all these cases the region of convergence came out to be entire z plane except some points, either infinity or 0 or something else, right? And generally when sequence is causal, z equal to 0 was the region of convergence. When sequence exists only in the negative half of the plane, then sequence was converging for z equal to for all the values of z except z equal to infinity. When sequence exists between negative and positive values of n, the region of in this example we are going to consider an infinite series, right? So and let's see how we determine the Z transform of the sequence and what is the region of convergence, right? So determine the Z transform of this signal x of n is equal to 1 upon 2 power n into u of n, where u of n is a unit step function, right? So that multiplication with unit step function actually makes the series causal, right? Because when u of n, we know it is 0 for all the values of negative values of n, right? So x of n is also 0 for negative values of n. So this is a causal sequence. So the signal x of n consists of an infinite number of non-zero values for n greater than or equal to 0. So what are those values? X of n equal to 1 for n equal to 0, and for n equal to 1 it is 1 upon 2, for n equal to 2 it is 1 upon 2, and so on up to 1 upon 2 power n up to infinity. Now the Z transform of x of n can be written in this form: 1 into z power 0, 1 upon 2 into z power minus 1, 1 upon 2 square into z power minus 2, and so on. Or we can actually write down this sequence by using the Z transform formula, right? Z transform formula n equal to not from minus infinity to infinity, but n equal to 0 to infinity, right? Because the sequence is causal. So n equal to 0 to infinity 1 upon 2 power n into z power minus n, or in other words n equal to 0 to infinity 1 upon 2 z power minus 1 whole power m. Now if you remember, while solving the convolution sum in previous lectures, we came across with this sequence where 1 plus a square plus a cube in infinite series is equal to 1 upon 1 minus a if the magnitude of a is less than 1, right? So this sequence is converging only if the magnitude of A is less than 1. Right. So similarly, this sequence is also an infinite sequence with increasing powers, which is called a power series. So this is also infinite power series, and the convergence of the series is only possible if magnitude of this is less than 1. Right. If the magnitude of this is less than 1, so we can use this formula to rewrite the Z transform of the signal. Right. So here A is basically 1 upon 2 into Z power minus 1. Right. So therefore this series would converge only if 1 upon 2 into Z power minus 1, the magnitude of 1 upon 2 into Z power minus 1 is less than 1, or in other words, magnitude of Z is greater than 1 upon 2. So Z transform of x of n now can be written as x of z is equal to 1 upon 1 minus 1 upon 2 into z power minus 1, where the region of convergence is magnitude of z is greater than 1 upon 2. So this series converges all the values of z as long as the magnitude of z is greater than 1 upon 2 or 0.5. So whenever the magnitude of z is greater than 0.5, this series would converge. Otherwise, you can see when z is 0.5, this would be 1, and 1 upon 0 would be infinity. Right. So magnitude of z should be greater than 1 upon 2. This is the region of convergence for this sequence. Similarly, in example number 3, we have another infinite series, and we have to find out the Z transform, and now we will sketch the region of convergence in the Z plane. So x of n is equal to a power n when n is greater than or equal to 0, and it is equal to 0 when n is less than 0. So this one is also a causal sequence. A causal sequence is finite, or it has some values, or it exists when n is equal to or greater than 0, and it is 0 when n is less than 0. So this one is the causal sequence, and the values of x of n for different values of n are: for n equal to 0 it is 1, n equal to 1 it is a, for n equal to 2 it is a square, and so on. So the Z transform of this sequence would be a power n into z power minus n, and summation from n equal to 0 to infinity, or rearranging this in this form like we did in the example number. And using the same formula, we can say the series would converge as long as the magnitude of a into z power minus 1 is less than 1, right? Or in other words, magnitude of z is greater than a. So x of z would be equal to 1 upon 1 minus a into z of power minus 1, and the region of convergence is z, magnitude of z should be greater than a. So as long as the magnitude of z is greater than a, the series would have, the x of z would have the finite value. Now let us sketch the region of convergence. Region of convergence is magnitude of z greater than magnitude of a, right? So as long as the values of magnitude of z are greater than values of magnitude of a, the sequence would converge. So in complex plane, z can have any value: positive, negative, even imaginary or complex, right? So in all these values, the magnitude of z should be greater than magnitude of a. So in complex plane, we will draw a circle of radius magnitude of a, right? So let us draw a circle of magnitude a, right? This one. Now as long as the values of z lie outside this circle, the series or x of z would have finite value, otherwise infinite, right? So region of convergence for this sequence is outside this circle, right? Outside, exterior of this circle. Inside the circle, now this example is exactly like example number 3, only the magnitude of a is equal to 1. So in that case, the x of n would be equal to 1 power n when n is greater than or equal to 0 and it is 0 elsewhere. So it is simply a unit step sequence, and this can be written in this form: x of n equal to 1 for all the values of n greater than or equal to 0. Or in Z transform formula, we can substitute the value from n equal to 0 to infinity 1 into z power minus n, and the x of z would be 1 upon 1 minus z power minus 1. So here the region of convergence is magnitude of z greater than 1. So as long as the magnitude of z is greater than 1, the x of z would be have some finite value, otherwise infinite. So, and in this case we have a unit circle, and the region of convergence is outside this unit circle, exterior of this unit circle, right? As long as the value of z are outside this unit circle, a series would converge, otherwise not. And example number 2, 3 and 4, we consider an infinite causal sequence that existed only for those values of n which are 0 or greater than 0. Now let us consider a non-causal sequence in which we have value 0 for n equal to or greater than 0, and it is non-zero when n is less than 0. So the signal x of n in this case is 0 for n greater than or equal to 0. Therefore we can write down the Z transform formula in this form: n equal to minus infinity to minus 1 minus a power n into z power minus n. Now in order to simplify our calculations, let us substitute m equal to minus n. So when we substitute m equal to minus n, we can rewrite the above formula in this form. So replacing n with minus n with m, so m would be equal to, from 1 to infinity, a power minus m into z power m. Again simplifying it further, we would give you this result: a power minus. Again using the same generalization that we use in previous examples, a plus a square plus a cube, or we can rewrite in this form, taking a common from this: 1 plus a square and so on is equal to a upon 1 minus a, if and this series would converge if the value of a power minus 1 into z is less than 1. So here a is equal to a power minus 1 into z. So substituting this value in to find out x of z, which came out to be a power minus 1 into z upon 1 minus a power minus 1 into z, or simply this one after simplifying it further. So this sequence is converging as long as the magnitude of a power minus 1 into z is less than 1, or z magnitude of z is less than magnitude of a. Right. So you can see the region of convergence is now inside the circle of magnitude a, not outside the circle. Right. So interior of the circle. So region of convergence for this sequence is inside a circle of magnitude a. Now in this example we have a two-sided sequence. Two-sided sequence means it has a non-zero value for positive values of n. Also it has non-zero value for negative value for it exists on the both sides of the origin. So this in this sequence, this one is the causal part and this one is the non-causal part. Right. So we have already determined the Z transform of causal sequence as also the non-causal sequence. So we can treat this in the same way we solve example number 2, 3 and 4, and we will solve this part in exactly the same manner we did example number 5. Right. So writing down this sequence in this form: n equal to 0 to infinity, and here Now if we can simplify it further in this form, right, by taking power n common from both terms and here m common from both terms. Now we know that this sequence is converging as long as magnitude of a into z power minus 1 is less than 1, and this sequence would converge as long as the magnitude of b power minus 1 into z is less than 1, right. So the first part of this series would converge if a into z power minus 1 magnitude is less than 1, or in other words magnitude of z is greater than a, and the second part of this series would converge if magnitude of b power minus 1 into z is less than 1, or in other words magnitude of z is less than b. So x of z is equal to 1 upon 1 minus a power z minus 1 plus 1 upon 1 minus b into z power minus 1, and the region of conversion is z magnitude of z less than magnitude of b and magnitude of z greater than. Now there are two possible scenarios or two cases. One when magnitude of b is less than magnitude of a. In this case, the region of convergence for causal part is a circle, exterior of circle of magnitude or radius a, right. So for example, this one is a circle, a bigger circle of radius magnitude a, and the region of convergence for this part is outside this unit circle, right. And similarly, the region of convergence for non-causal part is inside or interior of the circle having radius equal to magnitude of b, which is this smaller circle, right. Now for this entire series to converge, we must have some common area, right. So in this scenario, we do not have any common region, overlapping region, right. So first part converges outside the circle and second part is converging inside the circle, right. So we can say the entire series is not converging for any single value of z, any common value of z, right. So we can say for this case, when magnitude of b is greater than magnitude of a, then the circle of magnitude b would be larger and circuit of having radius a would be smaller circle, right. Now the region of convergence for this part is outside this circle, which is this one, and region of convergence for this part is inside the circle, right. Now we have some common area in between, a ring, right. So this is basically region of convergence for this sequence, two-sided sequence. So from all these examples, from example number 1, in example number 1 we have different sequences, finite sequences, which were causal, non-causal, two-sided sequences as well. And in example 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 we have infinite sequences, and was a mix of causal, non-causal and two-sided sequences. And from these examples we can actually generalize our discussion. For example, for any causal sequence, the region of convergence in z plane is entire z plane except z equal to 0. Similarly, for anti-causal sequence, the region of convergence is entire z plane except z equal to infinity, and this is for finite duration sequences that we did in example number 1. And if a finite duration signal is two-sided, then region of convergence is z equal to 0 and z equal to entire z plane except z equal to 0 and z equal to infinity. So this is all we can conclude from example number 1. For infinite duration sequences, the region of convergence in case of causal sequence is exterior of a circle of radius, some value, and anti-causal is the interior of the circle, right? And if it is two-sided, then it is actually a ring. there are some exercise problems for you. Determine the Z transform of this signal and sketch the region of convergence in all three cases. That is end of the lecture number 10 and 11. And if you have any questions, you can actually send me an email given in the first slide of the lecture. Thank you very much.